Good morning. I'm Julio Saenz along with Mauricio Riveros. Today we'll meet Stephanie Green, owner of the brand new Vault Fitness Studio in downtown Rochester.
We hope you will be inspired.
Celebrating leaders in Rochester's unique and vibrant business community. We'll meet entrepreneurs whose passion and perseverance have helped push through life's challenges. Join us as we share their stories and journeys to success. It's time to be inspired.
Hi, Stephanie. Thank you very much for being Be Inspired, a show that we developed to inspire our community, to interview people like you who are entrepreneurs, who are investing in Rochester, who are believing in this city. I think that's very important. But before we talk about your business, let's learn about who is Stephanie.
I'm excited to share about myself and my business. But first of all, thank you for hosting this show and giving me the opportunity to do this. I think it's so great that we're bringing good news to Rochester and inspiring others. Who am I? I'm a small town girl. I was going way back to the beginning, born and raised in Eastern New York in a small town called Germantown. I had 50 people in my graduating class. My roots are a small town. I ended up coming up to Geneseo for college. And after college, I landed in Rochester, and I don't want to date myself, but 35 years later, I'm still here. I love this town. I raised my children here. And Rochester's been so good to me. I've worn many hats. During Geneseo, I completed my degree in accounting, so I have a background in business. I went on to hold positions in sales in the Rochester area. I raised my children. I ended up going back to school in Brockport for a theater degree about 10 years ago or so. So I've worn many hats. I guess I am a lot of different things. But I'm a Rochesterian.
And I love that, capacity to reinvent yourself and to be able to, wear different hats. And that's a very, very powerful thing. So now let's talk about your business and what's your business about?
Yeah, so the business that I opened is called Vault Cycle Fitness. It's in downtown Rochester, and it's a class-based fitness studio. My husband and I really had a drive and a desire to be downtown. I will share that right after college, my first job was across the street, right in the heart of downtown at 1 East Avenue. I worked for Burns Personnel in accounting, and I saw downtown Rochester when it was alive, when Midtown was happening in here. And there was a lot going on in downtown Rochester. I left to the suburbs to raise my family, and a lot changed in downtown Rochester, but I remember when it was great. While I was working on my first job, I also worked at the YMCA in downtown. And I would go there at 5 in the morning to work before I started my 9-to-5 job. So fitness has always been a huge part of my life, but downtown, I just loved the energy downtown. And now that I have an opportunity and my kids are grown and gone to be back downtown and see what's happening here, see the energy that's happening and everything that's coming back to life down here, to be able to have a part in that growth, I had to take the opportunity. So when I looked around at downtown Rochester and saw the fitness arena really needed a little bit of work, with all of the people that are living downtown now, the residents, as well as the many people that come downtown to work, because I was that person, to have a great fitness studio to continue that pathway to health. I thought that was really important. So this opportunity presented itself, and we were able to do a lot of research into boutique fitness and class-based fitness. I spent about 2 years traveling the United States, looking at boutique fitness studios in New York City. In Boston, we were in LA. We traveled to San Francisco and Nashville, really researching fitness and the class-based fitness that was becoming very vibrant in other large cities. And we really had a drive to bring that to downtown Rochester and give people in Rochester that experience, that big city experience, I guess you would say.
Wonderful.
So Vault Cycle Plus Fitness, we have indoor cycle classes that are rhythm-based. We also have cycle classes and road rides that appeal to people of all ages and fitness levels. We also offer boxing fitness classes, and we have yoga classes. So we have 3 modalities, all class-based, but it really meets the need of everybody for the most part.
Wonderful. And so the name of the studio is Vault Studio, and does that does tie into where you're located?
It does. So Vault Cycle Plus Fitness, our name is because of the building that we're in. The building was the former Monroe Community Savings Bank, right at the corner of East Ave and Main, right at the heart of downtown. We look at the Liberty Pole. But this building was built as a bank in the 1920s. And I don't know if you can see behind me. I have the vault door for the actual vault that is in our space as I sit. So vault had a lot of meanings. It explains the space that we're in, but it also could be used as a verb. You know, you're vaulting to a different level of fitness. And right now, fitness and health is so important for everyone in this community and everywhere, really.
Yeah, and this is what I was thinking to ask you, which is, you know, hey, we have COVID. COVID-19 has been a challenge for everybody, especially in your business. So we will want to learn a little bit what you did in the middle of the COVID to be able to survive and pass through all those things. But also, what is the answer in terms of rebuilding immunity system through sports? Because that's very important. So if you can navigate in those 2 questions, will be great.
Basically, threw me one of the biggest challenges that I never saw coming. The studio was supposed to open in March of 2020, and COVID hit in March of 2020. So we never had an opportunity to open. We had instructors in place, we had employees in place, and the doors just never opened until in July. We were having a conversation with Andy Galena, and one of our instructors who is also friends with Andy, Andy very generously and kindly offered for us to utilize his outdoor space underneath that 1 East Avenue canopy, that building there. And with no members, we thought, let's give it a try. You know, what do we have to lose at this point? Not much. So we rolled our bikes out and we started holding outdoor cycle classes at 1 East Avenue, which Julio really was interesting because that's where my first job was, in downtown Rochester out of college. So everything kind of came full circle for me. So with the onset of our outdoor classes in July, August, we were then, after COVID and some of the governor allowed fitness studios to reopen, we opened indoor in, I believe it was the end of September, October. So we started taking our classes indoor. And I have to thank all of our members that really supported us and found us through that outdoor venue. The people that were coming around downtown and trusting us to keep them safe and do what we needed to do. The lucky thing was, though, we were still finalizing some of the renovations when we were not able to open. So what we were allowed to do, or what we were able to do, was to make some changes to the HVAC systems, right? To be able to put the systems in place that would keep everyone safe through COVID. So we've got great air filtration systems, purification systems in place. So we changed a little bit of the design when we weren't able to open. We had that time to accommodate the COVID regulations and create a safe space for all of our members. So we were really happy to be able to do that.
Speaking about the type of folks that can go to Vault, is it the beginner? Is it somebody that's already into cycling and some of the other exercises that you offer?
Yeah, the way that we've set it up, the classrooms are very dimly lit, and we call that no judgment. So we keep the rooms lit and we keep the music up high, but we're very aware of the fitness level of everyone when they come in. And it's beginners all the way to advanced fitness people. Our instructors, I want to say, are the best in Rochester. They know how to make modifications, how to cue modifications when people within the class might need a modification. They're very aware. COVID has enabled us for, I have to look at the bright side. Certainly in my pro forma or business plan, my studios would hold more people than we do now because of COVID, but having smaller classes has been great because the instructors can really focus on the individuals in the class. And that's why, anybody at any fitness level can begin their journey right here at Vault. I like that the studio and having these fitness classes, we allow a half an hour between classes so that we are able to sanitize the rooms too. So we're very conscious of maintaining a clean space, a healthy space, and overseeing our population and making sure that everyone stays healthy.
Stephanie, I just love your creativity, your capacity to integrate so many things and holistically approach this element, because it's not just sports. You are touching economic development, you are touching relationships, you are creating momentum. And that is so important. Even that you just started, I can see the passion. And that's the key for any business. You need to have passion and love for what you do, and then the rest comes. And how you are dealing with technology. Technology innovation is changing the business, especially in fitness world. There are a lot of machines and things that are helping. What's your perspective about that?
Yeah, that's really interesting. Technology from our perspective, so our for instance, our cycle, our bikes, the technology that we have on our bikes, after you take a cycle class, you leave, you get emailed your results. You're emailed how many calories you burned, how many miles you cycled, what your energy output was, and that sort of thing. So we're using that so that people can track their progress at the studio. One other technology that we've put in place has been really great is we call it spot booking. So when you sign up for a class in our studio, you pick the exact spot that you'll be in our boxing studio, the exact spot you'll be in cycle. So that helps you to, you can plan it with a friend. So you're going to be at spot 15 and your friend is going to be at spot 14. And this is all done via an app. And you can track your classes via the app. And I think involving technology that way to make things easy for people. Signing up for class is so easy. It makes it more accessible and easier to do. Like, you don't really have to think about it. Jump on my app. Oh, I'm going to take this class tonight. There's a spot. Here we go. So technology has been great to give the opportunity, I guess, to people. Technology in fitness, as far as virtual classes, has been great during COVID too. A lot of people have been taking advantage of virtual workouts online. So it's a whole different world that we're in right now.
So thank you, Stephanie. We'll be back with more after these messages. As an entrepreneur and a busy person, what advice would you give to the fellow entrepreneurs and business owners and busy people that are watching this show right now? How do you fit in workout time?
Yeah, you have to make it a priority for your life. You have to want to be healthy and you have to schedule it. I've been very busy all my life, and I find that putting, 45-minute workout time on my calendar at, 1 o'clock, I'm taking this class. You hold yourself accountable. I think going to fitness studios and I am guilty of this, I will say. During COVID, before our studio could open, I would do an online class. My sister and I, we'd go on a Zoom call and we'd get on an online class, and we'd be doing our online class to try to hold each other accountable. Well, when it came to burpees, I stepped off of the screen and I said I was doing burpees, but I wasn't. So we have to be responsible to hold ourselves accountable for our fitness, for our health journey. And I think coming into a studio that is creating a safe space for you and working next to somebody or working out with a friend, that helps you to hold yourself accountable. Scheduling that time into your busy workload which is why we're downtown for all of the people that work downtown. So they could come over here during lunch if they want for a quick express class. But it's something that you have to want to do. You have to recognize the benefits of the health and keeping healthy, and you have to schedule it in.
But one of the things that was coming in my head is there's a lot of people after COVID that are in depression. There are a lot of people who have lost their jobs, who have lost a lot of things. How fitness can help with that aspect? Because, for example, for me, if I am feeling bad or, I am kind of down, I go in a run and completely change my perspective, change my day. I see differently.
Yes.
What's your take on that? There's a lot of people, again, with depression right now. How deal with depression, how to connect that with the sports?
Yeah, I think it's really important to reach out if you're struggling. But certainly this isolation that COVID has brought on has really affected people in so many ways. We are creatures that need touch, and we need to be around other people. We're social creatures. So, the first step is just taking a step outside of the door as soon as you're feeling comfortable. Certainly now that the vaccine is out, I think people will feel more comfortable coming out. But as you said, it's getting your adrenaline going and your heart rate up. It changes your whole outlook on life. It really does. And I find on my most exhausted days, if I just hold myself up and I pull myself up out of those tired moments or those sad moments and get a little bit of exercise in, no matter how much, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just keep building myself up. It changes your mental capacity. It does change your outlook, and there's science behind that. So it's not just something I'm saying, but it's so important to do that.
Yeah. You have such a great concept for your business, and you told us about all the great research that you did, the extensive research you did to look at similar businesses. Can you trace back to that moment where the light went on and you said, I want to start a boutique fitness club?
I can. So fitness has always been a part of my life. It's been a part of my children's lives. They were both athletes through school. The light bulb went on for me when my daughter and I had traveled to Boston. She was getting ready to move to Boston. This was during college. She was hoping to get a job there as she graduated. And we went there and we fell in love with rhythm cycling out there. And I walked into the studio and then I started seeing it everywhere, but this was Boston. And I thought, how can I bring this to Rochester? This needs to be in Rochester. We're a great community. I don't know any other city where people get the city emblem tattooed on their bodies. People love Rochester. And I wanted to give them another reason to love Rochester. And there are things that I was finding in these larger cities, these fitness experiences. And when my daughter and I experienced the cycle studio in Boston, I thought, how can I do this? And therein began my research and traveling to other cities to find out what was really working in these other cities and how could I incorporate these fitness modalities into one studio and bring them to Rochester. The experience for me, we're in the downtown, we're in downtown, but the studio itself is in the basement level of the building. So the experience starts at the top of the stairs. When you're walking down, you'll see our stairway has graffiti all over the walls. That one of the local graffiti artists, I was inspired in one of the city studios I was in. So we hired a graffiti artist from Rochester to put all the different communities in Rochester on the wall. So coming down the stairway, you're already transported to a different experience and a different feeling. And so I guess that was the moment in Boston with my daughter.
Wow, Stephanie, you really have inspired us. It's really fascinating to see business people, entrepreneurs like you, who are living their dream and have passion for what they are doing. And we need more of that. We need more of that type of people. Thank you for investing in this city. Thank you for being there, showing the light, bring the light to this place, which we need. And if you can please tell everybody who is watching right now, quick, where and when and how they can connect with you, or when, to go to be part of the experience.
Yeah, you could jump right online, technology. Our website is www.vaultrochester.com. And you can see pictures of the studio. You can sign up. You can stop by the studio. We're open always during the day. Our classes run in the mornings right now. We have a couple classes at noon and in the evenings, and we're adding classes all the time. But we're located right at Liberty Pole and Parcel 5, right at 10 Franklin Street. It's our address. I welcome anybody to come. Just walk in, say hello, introduce yourselves. We'll give you a tour of the studio. That would be how to do it.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. It was really an honor to have you in the show. And I'm sure that we will invite you in the future and see the growth of your organization and your vision and your passion. Thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Coming up next week on Be Inspired, we'll meet Pamela Bailey and Henry Padron, owners of Hippocampal Children's Books, located in the South Wedge.
To watch today's episode and the complete interviews of our guests, go to rochesterfirst.com/beinspired. For more great talk with Rochester's entrepreneurs, listen to Bodette 97.1, Saturdays at 9 a.m. For Mauricio Riveros, I'm Julio Saenz. We'll see you next week on Be Inspired.